Welcome to my channel, everyone. Welcome to Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next level to our financial success. Now, today we're going to be continuing in the series on Airbnb hosting, and we're going to be looking at the 10 steps to becoming a successful Airbnb host. But let's break it down, because as I said to you in our last discussion, I like to make things as simple as possible. So what is a super? And you're hearing this name all about the place. So a super host is a badge or a title given to an exceptional host on Airbnb that has passed through certain criteria and has been allowed to attain this status. Now, the things that you are evaluated on, there are around 4 or 5 things that you must accomplish to be able to become it. And we're going to go through them real quickly. The first one is that you must maintain a 4.8 overall rating or review score. The highest is 5, as you know. So with 4.8, you're pretty near to 5. So it's going to average out. So don't worry if you get some ratings or reviews that are below 5. The average must be 4.8 or higher. Okay? The next one is your response rate. Your response rate is how quickly you respond to guests when they have an inquiry or they ask a question or they have a booking. And you must maintain a minimum average of 90% or a score of 90% for your response rate. The next one is your stays. You must accomplish 10 completed stays or 100 nights over 3 days, right? For you to qualify for the superhost. And the last one, but not least, is cancellation rate. And you must maintain a 1% cancellation rate. And this is where a guest might have a booking and you're not able to accommodate them. And for some reason or the other, you have to cancel that reservation or that booking. All right. Now, what are the perks, you might say, of becoming a superhost? Because, and it's a good question, why should you want to become a? Let's look at the benefits. The first one is that for every year that you accomplish staying as a superhost, you get a $100 coupon for you to use on Airbnb. So that's money back in your pocket, because if you are in the Airbnb industry, then you value the importance of traveling. So you might want to travel to other destinations. You have this coupon that you can use to reduce your accommodation or your reservation cost. So that's a good perk. The next one is that you get placed in the specific search field for Superhost. Now, there are some guests, quite rightfully so, who only want to stay with Superhost because, hey, a Superhost status means that this host is exceptional in their service level. So therefore, when guests are searching for Superhost only facilities or accommodation, you will appear in the search engine or the search filter for that, right? The other thing is that as a superhost, you get early access to certain features that might be released by Airbnb, and therefore you can take advantage of those. You also will have access to special promotions that are specifically designed and geared towards superhost. All right. So you will also have a referral bonus that is normally on Airbnb, but as a superhost, you get an extra referral bonus whenever someone signs up as a host using your link. All right. Now let's jump right into the 10 steps to become a successful superhost. The first one would be to create an attractive and a outstanding listing. And how do you create an outstanding listing? The first thing is that you take excellent photographs, and I can't emphasize this enough. Invest in your photographs. You're either going to be investing in a high quality or a more recent iPhone that has the capability and features to take high quality photographs, or invest in a professional to do your photographs for you. Personally, I did one where I hired a professional, and for one of my other properties, I invested in an iPhone. My phone needed to be changed anyway, and I had refused to upgrade my phone just for the purpose of upgrading my phone. But when it reached the point that it was not keeping charge, it turned off every minute, then I said, hey, I need a new phone. But I said, this phone is going to have to pay for itself. And how is it paying for itself? By doing this recording right now. and by taking the photographs for my Airbnb properties, and it has already paid for itself. All right. The next thing that you're going to do is to make sure the description of your property is excellent. Go in depth, spare no details. Make sure you properly describe your property, highlighting the things that you're most proud of and the things that you know that your guests will be most interested in. You do not want your property to be the best kept secret on the market. So if you know that you have a workstation, if you know that you have a patio with nice, comfortable furniture, then put it in the description so guests will know. Also, make sure you have enough photographs that you can properly identify your property or advertise your property rather. All right. The next thing is that you're going to be a responsive host. Remember that this is one of the criteria. Airbnb is not a business that you start and set on autopilot. Especially when I wanted to become a superhost in the first stages, I had my phone nearest to me even when I went to bed, and I turned the volume up. So as an inquiry or a booking came in, I was able to respond to that guest immediately. The weirdest thing, guys, is that remembering that there are guests that are living in different time zones all across the world planning to visit your location. You cannot restrict your communication to your waking hours, or you're going to restrict your business. So therefore, for example, in China, 12 p.m. to us is 12 a.m. So when you're in bed at 10 p.m. at night, it's 10 a.m. theirs, approximately. So they're just getting started in their day. So therefore, be responsive, be alert, and it's quite easy, guys. Have your pre-typed messages. So therefore, you do not have to be worrying about wording a message when an inquiry comes in. You just adjust your template and send that out to the guest. Very simple. Work smarter, not harder. All right, so be responsive and communicate very well, and communicate professionally, not using slurs or jargons, but have your messages pre-typed in a professional manner. Okay, the next one is to provide thoughtful amenities. Now, what I do is I step into my Airbnb and I stand and I look around and I think to myself, if I were at home and I'm sitting in my living room, what would I want around me, or what would I want to see on the walls as decor? Picture yourself in your home and what little creative touches you can put to the accommodation to make your guests more comfortable. But as I said, if you enter the Airbnb industry, it means that you have a sense of what guests are looking for. Picture yourself walking into a hotel or an Airbnb yourself and imagine the things that you would like to see or have available to you throughout your stay. It's the details that count, guys. So make sure you add a little touch or an extra touch to your Airbnb to make it more appealing. So for example, toiletries. What are the things that you often forget on a trip? You might forget your toothbrush. You might forget your deodorant. For females, you might forget your sanitary napkins while you're on your trip. It's late at night and they're having an accident. You want to cater for them, and that is what will be highly appreciated by the guest. What about a first aid kit? A bottle of water, some snacks, some tea bags, or some anything to make a hot beverage. They have been traveling for a long time. They did not get to stop for food. They enter your Airbnb and thank God there is something there, as Jamaicans like to say, to bust gas, or something that can ease their hunger for a while. All right, so think of those extra amenities for your guests. The other thing is extremely important, and that is to maintain a clean and well-kept property. Again, guys, when you step into a hotel room, how do you feel about a stain on a pillowcase? How do you feel about a stain on the dining table or in the microwave? How do you feel about getting a towel and there is a strand of hair? God forbid, pubic hair. That completely turns you off. Therefore, have a microscopic eye when you're going through your property. If you're the one cleaning your property, look up on YouTube for how do I effectively clean an Airbnb property or a hotel standard. If it is that someone is cleaning your property, Have a way to double check what you are doing. I have learned in the past from one of my previous managers that told me, inspect your expectation. And that has lived with me for decades. Inspect your expectation. Never take it for granted that your property is being cleaned the way it should be cleaned. Let's get realistic. If you have someone cleaning your property, have your mom, have your sister, have your spouse pass by, look through and tell you if it has been cleaned to a sufficient standard. Clean property can make or break you in the industry because it's one of the points that the guest looks out for and will determine the level of reviews that you get. Remember that you need a 4.8 review to be able to keep or make a Superhost status. All right. The next one is to create a personalized guest experience. Especially when a guest is doing an inquiry for a booking, they might release certain things. Hey, I'm coming in for my birthday with my spouse and I'd like to stay at your property. A light bulb should go off, guys. That guest is coming for their birthday. Have a card ready, have a bouquet, have a balloon that says happy birthday. Invest in a bottle of wine and 2 glasses that you will leave, right? Sprinkle some rose petals if you want to go the extra mile. Especially when you want to become a Superhost, it's like a marketing expense. If you are opening a business, you are investing in marketing, you're investing in staff. Therefore, for you to become a Superhost, spend a little bit more, cut into your profit margin, because once you become a Superhost, I guarantee you that it's going to be worth it to get that badge of honor. Right? If they say they're coming in for a funeral, have a sympathy bouquet being left in there, a sympathy card left inside of your property. Let them realize that they were listened to and that they're treated important. Another tidbit, guys, treat everyone as if they are wearing a sign above their chest. Another pointer, guys, I've always used this saying as well, that you should treat everyone as if they are asking you, am I important? Right? When a guest realizes that you listened to them and you did these extra touches to their experience or their reservation, they're gonna love you for it. And they'll always come back and they will give you a high review. And not just that, remember, they will have friends or relatives that are visiting your area that your Airbnb is in, and they will recommend your property to those friends or relatives. Nothing beats a personal referral. All right. The next number 7, and I have not been keeping check, but I'm sure I'm at number 7. Number 7 is get consistent 5-star reviews. Believe it or not, even if you get a 4-star review, persons might say, okay, a 4-star review is good enough. It is not. How Airbnb is set up is that once you get anything below a 5-star review, it pulls down your average drastically. Once you get too many 4-star reviews, then you realize that you are appearing less and less in search pools and search criteria that guests will look at. And how do you test that? Run a test for yourself. Don't just stick to your sign-on as an Airbnb host. Switch to a traveler, and that feature is in the sign-on that you are able to switch to traveling. So switch to the traveling mode and enter the destination that your property is in and see which properties come up. If your property is not in the first 10 to 20 properties that are brought up in the listing, you have a problem. And you need to make adjustments to be able to appear in that first 10 to 20 listing. So whatever it takes to get a 5-star review, make sure you do it to get that review. All right? It's going to be worth it. Number 8, quick resolution of issues. Now, this is sometimes hard. And guys, remember that we are not aiming to be, oh, this perfect host, because I've been through certain situations that I thought everything was perfect for this reservation. And when the guest checked in, issue after issue after issue. It makes no sense you make excuses to the guest to say, hey, this has never happened before, just try to fix it, right? I try to tell myself that I need to fix things immediately. It has caused me a lot of stress, a lot of high blood pressure moments, but I just want to make sure my guests are feeling very good and that nothing goes wrong, which is unrealistic. So don't be like me. Save yourself some stress to know within yourself that some things will go wrong, but however, when they do go wrong, make sure you fix it at least. No, not at least. The most you should take to fix an issue is 24. Remember though that you have to be alert. So if you are not seeing an issue or not checking your phone or your device until 3 hours after a guest has complained of a problem, you're already behind the 8th ball and you're going to be in problem. That's how the saying goes, whatever. But you're going to be having an already delay in responding to that matter. As soon as a guest has an issue, set your alert on high volume. Make sure, well, one thing I do is that the Airbnb app is on my personal cell phone. Some persons will have the app on their laptop only or on a secondary device. You're not running a business, you're running a patty shop at best. Have the app on your personal cell phone. Have the alert be significant and not on a low tone. So once a guest has a problem, ching ching, you're hearing the alert. All right, and therefore you are able to respond as quickly as possible. Have persons, if you're living outside of the area or country that your Airbnb is operated, have some trustworthy and alert persons that you can trust to respond in a timely manner and treat the business as seriously as you do. Okay, so respond as quickly as possible, to your issues as they arise. Number 9, we're reaching to the end, guys, almost there. So number 9 is create a good host profile and introduction. Remember, in an era that there are so many scams going on, the guest is also wary of whose property and who they're going to be staying with. Just as much as you as a guest, you as a host, you are worried about what type of guest you're going to be getting in your property. Similarly, your guest is also concerned about whose property and who is this that I'm going to be staying with. It always is beneficial to have a profile photograph. There are some algorithms and analytics that state that couples in a profile photo works well and get more bookings. So take a photograph with your spouse in a very relaxed position, looking professional, because if you're looking like a bum, a guest is gonna say, I don't like how this person looks. They're looking a little bit shady and I'm not gonna stay there. So therefore, look professional, but look relaxed. Another statistic shows that if you're wearing sunglasses, yes, believe it or not, my viewers, it is said that if you're wearing sunglasses, and I need to change mine, don't judge me, please. Mine with my wife does not have us in sunglasses, but statistics say that if you're wearing shades, you get more bookings, right? So also as well, you're gonna look at making sure that your profile is as detailed as possible. State what you like and dislike. How accessible are you as a host? Give some background as to your experience and your profession and your marketing or sales skill. Once guests are reading through and they're getting to know you, they're feeling much more comfortable with you as a host and they are more likely to book your property. Okay? Now the final, number 10 into becoming a successful superhost is continuous improvement. You should have known that this point was coming. And if you know me as an individual or you listen to my other YouTube videos, you will know that I am someone who stresses on personal improvement. There's always room for improvement. And that's why you're never to be too hard on yourself, because there's no such thing as perfection. Therefore, each review that comes in, and guests will also, if they really like you, they will not place something in the public review, but they will place it in the private review that only you can see that message. So they will make little recommendations. So they'll say, hey, consider changing the knob on this closet. Hey, consider putting some board games into your Airbnb. That would work well. Hey, I didn't like that color sheet, or there was a stain on that cupboard. So constantly make improvements. hey, could you add another patio chair? There's only one or two. You have a listing that can accommodate up to 6 or 8, but you only have 2 chairs on your patio. Consider adding more. This is what you therefore use to continue to add and to improve your property. All right? So hey guys, I hope you found this information valuable and helpful to you. If any at all you found this information helpful, please subscribe, please like, please share, and please comment. As a matter of fact, comment below what other points you would give for becoming a superhost. Ask me questions that you might have. Remember, you can also check in the description box for my website where you can see our listings to book with us. We also offer consultation and we also offer management of your property. If you're someone who does not want to be bothered in terms of managing the properties yourself, we have specific geographic areas that we offer our property management services for you. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video.